Hello, second graders. Welcome to Read Aloud with me, Miss Taylor. I will be reading chapter 8 of the 1001 Arabian Nights. And chapter 8 is called The Lion's Revenge on Mankin. And Mankin, kind of sounds like mankind, which is another way of saying humanity, people. All right, so at the end of the last chapter, Mrs. Schultz read to us about Pearl Harvest. And the king was not happy about the story about Pearl Harvest. And so Scheherazade, being the clever person that she is, says, well, let me tell you about some stories of animals. And she says, the animals everywhere testify to the truth of what you say. That maybe people are not so trustworthy sometimes. Their stories are full of the crooked cunning of man, and they warn their children nightly to beware of man's tricky and deceitful ways. And then King Shirar is like, well, all right, tell me a story. And so she gets to live another night. So this is The Lion's Revenge on mankind. All this happened early in the morning of time before the golden trees that covered the Sahara had crumbled into the yellow dust called sand, and when animals and man spoke one language. A goose woke up from a nightmare screaming and ran about, head stretched out and wings beating with fear, until she collapsed on a flat rock with fright and exhaustion. When a lion strolled out from a nearby cave and sauntered up to her, she was too overcome to move. Gentle creature, he said, for he was a cultured and finely bred young lion who had led a sheltered childhood. What is your name? My name is Goose, and I am of the tribe of Bird, she said, curtsying respectfully. I see you have been frightened. If it is not too painful to recount, please do tell me how. The goose recounted her dream, a blind nightmare without pictures in which a voice whispered, Goose, poor goose, beware, beware, and warn the chicken and the hare, warn the fish and warn the wife. Mankin comes to take their life. Warn the deer and warn the cow, mankin's coming even now. Never trust and never thank him, for no foe is worse than mankin. The lion scratched thoughtfully. I had just a dream once, and when I told my father, his fur turned quite a pale yellow, and he told me never to live in the same province as Mankin. Personally, I've never seen the beast. They're like, who is this Mankin that you're talking about? And again, it's kind of like mankind means people. The goose was still white with fright, even to the tip of her beak, and seeing that the young lion had an exceptionally lean and muscular flank, fine, strong paws, and claws as sharp as cuttle-shell, she said, It is clear to me what must be done. This enemy of animals must be destroyed. We must find a champion who will defend us against this cruel and merciless beast. And now I look at you. Who better than the prince of beasts and the finest lion among the whole tribe of cat? Your fame will sound through sky, earth, and water when you have killed mankin. The goose went on flattering the lion until he agreed to hunt down and exterminate the enemy of all animals. He strode off, cracking his tail like a whip, and the goose paddled along behind him, trying to keep up. They went on until the lion's nose was offended by a cloud of dust scuffed up in their path. In the middle of it was a donkey, rolling on its back. You picture the donkey rolling on its back, then jumping about, kicking its feet in the air. The lion, who had led a sheltered childhood, wrinkled up his nose. Come here, animal, he said, and tell me, if you have a brain in your head, who are you and why are you behaving this way? Oh, golden-furred master, I am Donkey of the tribe of Donkey, and I have escaped, if only for a day, from the awful mankin. The lion laughed. Whatever size is this beast of mankin, that an animal as large and as hard-hoofed as you is frightened of him? Ah, I see that you do not know this terrible creature, Golden One. Coward that I am, I would not be afraid of mankin if he only wanted to kill me. He does worse than that. He puts something leather on my back and ties it so tightly under my stomach that I can barely breathe. Sounds like a saddle, maybe. He puts a metal bone between my teeth and sits on my back. Ooh, it's like that bar that donkeys or horses have in their mouths. What is that called? Like a bridle or something? Um, and sits on my back, pulling on the metal bone with strips of leather to turn me this way and that. Then he pokes me in the neck with a sharp stick until I run faster than my mother or father intended me to run. And when I cannot run any more, he screams such words in my ears that my brains curdle like sour milk. When I'm old, he will use me as a pack animal, and I will carry big water jars that bang together and squash my heart flat inside me. Take me to this contemptible beast, O donkey, and you will have helped in the revenge of all animals on mankin, roared the lion. Who, me? Answered the donkey. Forgive me, O lion, I am undoubtedly your miserable slave, but I only ran away yesterday, and although I'm sure mankin will catch me again, I intend to enjoy this one short day of freedom. It's like, I'm going to enjoy today. I don't want to go find that mankin again. So the lion went on ahead of the goose until he met a deer whose leaps were as long and elegant as the sun's daily leap from eastern to western horizon. "Oh, elegant creature of the twig-like legs," said the lion, who had led a very sheltered childhood. "Who are you?" It's kind of funny, the lion doesn't know any of the other animals. "I am Gazelle of the tribe of deer," said the deer, trembling as 4 reeds tremble under the weight of a dragonfly. "Be merciful, O beast of the sunshine fur, and don't delay me in my flight from mankin." The lion laughed with disbelief. "How long are the legs of mankin that he can chase a creature as fast-footed as you?" Like, "Oh, he chases after you? Ah, I see you don't know this terrible creature, O silk-haired prince," replied the deer sadly. "Sometimes mankin carries spines on his back, which he plucks out and fits into a smooth branch and sends flying like hornets straight into the heart of deerkin." Ooh, it's like hunters who shoot with bow and arrow. To give him speed of movement, he has also enslaved Horse of the tribe of Horse. He forces her to carry a piece of leather on her back and a metal bone between her teeth. He nails shoes to her feet and keeps her captive at night by tying her feet together with hairy hemp rope. I pity the poor horse, for mankin only wants to kill me with his arrows. He works the horse to death, harnessing her to a water mill in her old age to turn the wheel from morning to night. "O lion, let me go for pity's sake. I hear the metal pounding on horses' hooves coming closer and closer." No sooner had the deer leapt out of eyesight than a fine black horse galloped into view, rolling its glorious eyes and foaming at the mouth. But there was no mankin on her back, only a strange leather seat. Like a saddle. "Oh, do not delay me, gentle animals. I am running away from mankin, and I know he is close behind me." "Wait, O horse of the tribe of Horse. I am Lion, prince of beasts, and I have sworn to take revenge on all animals of mankin. Stay and see me hold him between my paws while I eat him from head to foot." Oh dear. But Horse had already gone, and all that stood on the path ahead was a huge and shaggy animal as ugly as a frit. Growling the growl of a falling tree, the lion leapt at the creature's throat, crying, "You must be mankin, big and horrible as you are to look at, and I have brought the revenge of all animals in my teeth and claws." "Oh, excellent but sheltered lion," quacked the goose, arriving in the nick of time. "This cannot be mankin, unless he is in all respects like a camel, gentlest of all creatures." "Oi!" wailed the shaggy animal as the lion sprang on her. "I am indeed Bactrian of the tribe of Camel. Doesn't mankin make me suffer enough without you tearing at my throat?" The lion was filled with apologies to the lowest rib of his chest. "Oh, I'm sorry, Camel." But the camel could not be consoled and lay down on her side, sobbing pitifully. "It was hopeless anyway," she said, "to think that I could ever escape from mankin. He can be no more than a mile behind me, and I was too tired before I even began running. Mankin loads me down with things and objects and goods and merchandise. I was once like my cousin Dromedary, but look at the groove mankin has worn in my hump, and with his things and objects and goods and merchandise." The lion and the goose examined Bactrian's back, and indeed his hump was so worn in the middle that it looked almost like two humps, like a camel. They're like, oh, that's the reason he has that valley in the middle of his humps, because Mankin has made him carry all this heavy stuff. Take heart, good Bactrian, said the lion. I have taken upon me the revenge of all animals on Mankin, and your unhappiness has made me all the more determined to tear him and shred him and eat every morsel of him. Lose heart, O well-intentioned but sheltered lion, for Mankin has broken my heart and will certainly break yours. But the lion had gone. He ran ahead so hot-headedly that Goose could not keep up, and so Lion was alone when he met with the next beast. It was a poor, slow-moving creature, standing up on two legs, like a chicken, but bent under the weight of wooden planks and metal nails. Its fur was all worn out but for a patch on the top of its head, and its skin was wrinkled. At the sight of the lion, it fell on its face and crawled towards him, weeping as though its heart would break. O glorious king! O Allah, increase the strength of your paw and paint your name in letters of gold on the blue vellum of the sky's frame. Surely your power is large enough for me to creep under your protection and be safe. I have suffered so much at the hands of my enemy, Mankin. Poor beast, said the lion, quite moved to tears. What kind of beast are you, that Allah has put you inside such a weak and ugly body, but given you the knowledge of flowing and delectable words? It's like, oh, your body is detestable, but your words are so lovely, so flattering. May Allah preserve your lordship. I am carpenter. Mankin made me work from morning till night for no money or food. I have run away from the city where he lives, but he is coming after me. He has no one to build his homes for him any more. All is not lost, however, if only I can find your father's cousin, Leopard of the tribe of Cat. He at least must be safe, even if I die serving him. He at least must be made safe, even if I die serving him. Now the lion, who was in a highly excitable mood, leapt about on his paws, feeling hotly offended. Why the leopard? Why must he be made safe? Eh? Eh? And he pushed the carpenter in the chest so that he fell over on top of his tools. Just see the lion. He's like, ah, why? What? Hmm. So the carpenter, what kind of an animal is a carpenter? Yeah, it's a person, isn't it? So he's met Mankin as a person, but now the carpenter is saying, "Oh, no, I'm not. I'm a carpenter," and he's kind of using some very kind words about lion. And now he's saying, "Well, actually, I must go find leopard." And now lion is becoming jealous. Glorious but sheltered prince of beast, he sent for me to build him a stockade, a strong cabin that would keep him safe from even the attacks of Mankin. He intends to wait until Mankin has exhausted himself, beating on the cabin, and then leap out of the cabin and make the revenge of all animals on his enemy. Oh, roared the lion, I have taken upon me the revenge of all animals. The leopard stepped out of his rightful place in the order of living things when he sent these orders. You will build me the cabin instead. The carpenter wrung his hands apologetically and simpered at the lion. What would become of your honorable servant, carpenter, if I offended the leopard? Let me go and make him his cabin, and then I will return and build you a palace, a veritable palace. The lion lifted the carpenter between both paws, as though he would bite off his head. It's like, build a cabin for me first, or I shall bite you to death here and now. Leopard can wait. So now the carpenter is going to build a house for lion. Carpenter took out a rule, measured the lion, who stood head erect and chest thrown out grandly. In a few moments, a solid box was built, with a sliding door at one end. It seems very narrow, said the lion, eyeing the door. Plenty of room inside, almost courageous, intrepid, and fearless of all beasts. So he made him a little box, sort of a little palace, but really it just kind of seems like a box to me. I wonder what the carpenter is thinking. Ooh, I think I have an idea. What do you think? So the lion squeezed in. So the lion's like, oh, I think it might be too small. Let me see. So the lion squeezed in, leaving only his tail outside. So now the lion is inside the box. With a flick of the wrist, the carpenter twisted the tail, packed it in with the rest of the lion, and nailed up the cage door. The carpenter was like, push the tail in, nail it up. Now the lion is in a box. He's in a cage. The lion, stuck around with splinters and the points of nails, roared with pain and shame, but Carpenter of the tribe of Mankin only danced a jig around the cage before stacking twigs round it and settling it alight from end to end, shouting, "Yellow dog of the desert! Mankin may be ugly and weak, but he has enough lies and cunning in his heart to drown all courage and strength and beauty, and to burn all cats." Oh dear. "Oh no, 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 sweet Scheherazade," said King Shahryar, unable to remain silent for another word's length. "Men may be treacherous, but I know no one in the kingdoms of Sassan and Samarkand al-Ajam put together who is quite so cruel and heartless as the Mankin in your story. Burn the most glorious of beasts? What are you thinking of, Scheherazade?" "Ah, did I not say that the world was only young when it happened? Perhaps it had learned less kindness, my kind and compassionate lord, than this kingdom has learned under your gentle rule." Shahryar looked sharply at Scheherazade, his wife, and went to sleep without saying another word. It's like, oh, what a disturbing story. So Mankin tricked the lion, put him in a cage, and said that he would burn it. Oh dear. King Shahryar is like, well, I am going to sleep. So it sounds like he's going to let Scheherazade live another night. We'll find out what happens in the next chapter in a couple days.